tip reef shark just underneath me.
Welcome to Frontier Fishing. I'm Sophie Woods.
And I'm Mark Hutchinson.
And we're going to take you on a journey to discover the wonders of Papua New Guinea in search of custom and traditional fishing methods. This is known as the land of the unexpected, so you can expect anything.
We're also hoping to chance a cast with the fly rod in some of the uncharted waters that this place is famous for. So the conch shells ring out and let's go fishing.
On this week's episode of Frontier Fishing, we find ourselves on an action-packed adventure. As we witness the effective method of catching fish using poison root, the resourceful and original use of kite fishing using web from the bird-eating spider, netting in a huge school of tuna, hooking into some feisty rainbow runners and wahoo, the mystical practices of shark calling in the Trobriand Islands, to a spectacular display of marlin fishing in Rabaul.
PNG. It's always been a land of adventure, home to mountains, jungle, scattered islands and unique wildlife. It's where adventurers like a young Errol Flynn made a name for himself before he went swashbuckling into Hollywood.
Today, PNG is a vibrant South Pacific nation, blending its tribal ways with the new. With more than 800 different tribes and languages, PNG is one of the most culturally diverse countries on Earth.
Our journey begins in the capital, Port Moresby. And as usual, the first thing we like to do is check out the local fish markets to see what's on offer. Well, the staple diet of the Papuans is fresh fruit and vegetables. As you can see, everything around here is just come straight off the market gardens. But this is what we've really come here to see. Well, we found some giant trevally just back there, but I've just stopped on the skipjack tuna, which is primarily what we have in Australia in our tins. And so how much for? It's 7 kina for one of these tuna. They're about 1.5 kilos, which equates to about $3, $3.50 Australian, so even cheaper than buying it out of a can. I decided to head out at Port Moresby and along the Papuan coast towards a fishing village called Gade. In Gade, a local tuna fisherman named Ben is going to show me a special bit of fishing tackle they harvest in the jungle called poison root. We've been walking for about half an hour. We've just popped into one of the village gardens where we're looking for some poison root, which we're going to use out on the reef later.
This is the one, huh?
That's the one.
Well, this is the one we're looking for.
Eureka. So this one's dropping right from the ceiling? Yeah, right. So no one in the village could really tell us how long the tradition's been going for. We had some story time last night. Hundreds, if not thousands of years. Just a locally growing noxious weed that the guys use out in the reef. Although poison root is still used, there is an understanding that it can be almost too effective, a bit like an ancient form of dynamite fishing. Locals don't use it as much as they used to, so they can keep protecting their reefs. But they were happy to show us how it works. So what's happening is they're placing a bit of the root on top of a metal stick. And they're actually going down, we're on a whole heap of little coral outcrops, I suppose you call them, on white sand. And they're diving down, finding the fish underneath the rocks, and then poking the root right in underneath the rocks. And then you'll see all the milky substance, all the poison seep out. And then we're waiting 2, 3, 4 minutes, and then all the fish start floating up.
Having heard about this unusual fishing method, as a herbalist I was fascinated and eager to learn more, so I headed off to the Botanical Gardens in Port Moresby, where local researchers are only just beginning to understand the huge range